that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, yeah. That's really what this is gonna be about.
All right, you're looking live at Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks and B Bird Cowboys, and we are live. I'm coming back with another one on Wednesday, the day before Cowboys Lions Thursday night football. So y'all want to say what's up to everybody?
What's up, everybody? Hey, I need the link for my Twitter thing.
All right, I'll send it. B Bird, you want to say what's up to everybody?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Hey, like I say every week, the water's a little bit cooler, the air taste smells a little bit better, food tastes a little bit better after Cowboy win, man. So hey, let's keep it going, baby.
Let's keep it going.
That's three in a
So
row. Hey, we got to keep it going.
that's right. So what y'all thinking about Detroit? I mean, so what does anything
W.
does anything give y'all any kind of worry at all?
No, to me, I think we're on the road. What I like about us, man, right now is that what we're doing, we're playing up to our potential.
Mhm.
I often say that the thing I think I most admired about the '90s Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson's uh, philosophy and psychology is
Mhm.
that he did get good players or great players, but he had those players playing like 90% of their capabilities. I felt like sometimes under the last couple of coaches and regimes, and we had guys that in regular season would play 90%, but in the postseason play 75, and that's where we get caught at. And so these guys right now are playing up to their abilities, or up to what their capabilities are. And when we do that, man, we're hard to beat. If you really look at the playoffs, or the times that we've not done well in the playoffs, we can go to each player and say, "Nah, you've played better than this." And you Dak, CD, Parsons when he was here, Demarcus Lawrence, everybody can go and say, "I've seen you play better than this." And so, but these guys right now are playing up to what our expectations are of them. So, I think we go in if we keep that up, man. I think we go in and we get the W. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see, Jules. I did send it to your dad that went back and did a little research since 2021. When the Cowboys have Dak on the road in the dome, we're 6-1. That's a solid one there, man. And
Now,
one of the things I'm sorry for saying this, keep on going because it adds on to this. One of the things I did a research on the Cowboys, are just outside teams. Excuse me, don't play teams playing outside in the cold weather, and it
mhm.
just doesn't go well. With
Yep.
this game in particular, I think that we're just a dome team. We built our team to be a dome team. Most teams build their dome teams, build their team to be a dome team. So when we go to a dome, we don't really, it fits what we do.
Right.
So I
We like
just think
we be looking like
tomorrow
a
we're gonna be
track
okay.
team in
Yeah,
the dome. We be
that's
looking
right.
like a
That's
track
right.
team. They be moving
That's right.
fast. So I was gonna ask y'all. So you know how Dak will have those games where he looks like Dak. During the headlight games is what my dad calls it, where it just kind of looks like he's off. So in the past, right, when he has those type of games, we kind of see those kind of games during the season, right? Like during the season, it kind of happens here and there. Like when he, like for instance, all those years we played the 49ers during the season, it's kind of like it just doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
I just remember a couple years ago when he's playing against the Broncos. Vic Fangio just had him. It just didn't look right when they wore the red, white, and blue stripe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then a couple times, I remember when we played the Saints, he just wasn't firing on all cylinders. It seemed like, So, but what I was asking is that I didn't see any of that in 2023. I don't think, and I didn't see except for the Green Bay game,
Yeah.
and then I didn't see any of that. Well, last year it was just like he was off until he got hurt
Mm.
all the way. So this year, have y'all seen Dak during the headlights? Because I don't think we have seen that, have we?
Chicago
Yeah.
and Arizona.
So was that the defensive fault or was that just Dak?
I would say it's not just Dak. I think the theme is, and B Bird has talked about this, when Dak has those moments, and
Mhm,
Mahomes has had them in Super Bowls, your defense has to hold serve. So if your defense can just hang in there,
mhm.
then Dak can cycle out of that.
Back up from your mic a little bit to see if it's popping, but this we cool though. Keep going though.
So how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
No, I was saying when Dak has those moments, if our defense can hold serve, he can kind of cycle out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've seen that. We saw it against Philly. We saw it against Kansas City. So I believe right now we have the defense and we got the leadership on defense that when Dak is having those moments, they can
Mm-hmm.
keep us in the game. I'm not concerned about that with this game. I kind of got quiet confidence. Um, Disappointed, and I didn't really get the full report on why Diggs is not playing. So what did
Oh,
y'all
he's
hear
not
on that?
playing.
That's what I'm seeing on Twitter. So I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Did you hear that, B Bird, that he was not going to play?
No, I did. I did hear he may not play. But if he doesn't, we're doing okay. But I did want to chime in on that question you asked, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a couple of things. When Dak has the deer in the headlights, and I had not seen it this year, but I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs. It usually happens in big games. When he's had that look, it's because we are offensive dominated team. That means our offense has to in those times. Our offense has to be clicking for us to win. Our offense set the stage for our defense. So when that number one piece isn't going, and Dak knows that, man, if this offense don't get going, we don't have a chance to win this game.
Yeah.
And so he feels all the pressure of the world on him. One of the things I asked your dad and Big Time the other day, I said, we can all agree that Mahomes is a better quarterback than Dak. And then we could also agree that Tom Brady is the GOAT, right?
Yes,
But Tom Brady won 2 Super Bowls off his defense's back.
for sure.
And so, Patrick Mahomes has against San Francisco needed this defense to hold him in till he started playing ball.
For sure.
Dak has never had that. So if they're better quarterbacks and they need a defense, what do you think a lesser quarterback needs?
For real.
So I don't think we're going to see that because the defense is playing better. But also, man, so I'll tell you a little story, man. I was in the ninth. We was in the ninth grade. I don't tell the story too often, but we was coming home from football practice in the ninth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and this grown up dude, man, I don't know if he was thrown off or something, but man, he came and harassed us. Man, he was physically trying to get with us. We was like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
So we had to walk that way every day, and so what we do is we walk that way. Did we go across the street?
Yeah.
Well, so we saw this other dude that was coming down the street, a big dude. And my homeboy was like, oh, damn, we got this dude on one side, and here come Lil Mike. Lil Mike is coming down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Lil Mike? And they was like, yeah. I said, I know Lil Mike. So Lil Mike came up, and he's a big dude. He's a grown-up also. So me and him started talking because my auntie raised him. So I've been knowing Lil Mike since he was little.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and let me just say this. Y'all both know this. Lil Mike had a reputation for cracking heads, right?
Oh, right.
Everybody knew it.
Big dude.
But I ain't really know it because I grew up with him and I ain't really know it like that. We had a big difference in our age. So
Yeah.
me and Mike there talking, and my kids my homeboy looking at me like, how you know this dude?
Right.
Well, Mike said, hey man, he said, everything going good? Yeah, man, yeah. I said, man, what y'all crossing the street for like that? Y'all, I said, man, that dude over there kind of, Mike went over there and told that dude, he said, let me tell you something, Mike. Them dudes come down the street, they come tell me anything about you doing something to them, I'll be back over here. You know what I'm gonna do. So the dude, he never messed with us again, right?
Right.
And we walked down that side, but we walked down that side of that street with our chest out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you, hey, I got
Yeah.
somebody.
You got backup.
I got backup. Well, that's what Pickens is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Did y'all read? Because he's that dude that just don't care, man.
Right.
And you got to have some of them dudes that's a little bit,
Throw it
hey
off.
man, look out.
Yep.
I just go out here and make plays. I really don't care who you put on me.
A dog.
Nobody can stop me. I think that Pickens when he was with Pittsburgh. Right now, you ask Pickens who's the best wide receiver in the league.
Him.
Say him. When he's with Pittsburgh catching 500, who's the what? Me.
Him.
I
Right.
just don't have a quarterback. I am him.
He's
and you
him.
cannot make me think I ain't him.
No matter what.
And then those kind of guys, man,
You need
it
that.
can be in the backyard or it can be with 30 seconds left to go in the Super Bowl. Throw me the ball. I am going to make a play. And I'm sorry for going on with this, y'all, but I gotta is one more story that comes to my mind. Do y'all, Cowboy Joe? You remember when the Rockets won their first championship, right?
Oh yeah.
So they played against. It was Game 7. They had to play against New York Knicks,
And Knicks, it was the
and
same day that OJ was on the freeway.
sure was, yeah. So Kenny Smith was the starting point guard, but Sam Cassell was the backup. And they did a documentary of it, and they even asked him that. So they going out for Game 7, man. It's in Houston. This is it for all the marbles. Sam Cassell would get playing time. Kenny was a starter, but they would almost get the same kind of playing time depending on who's hot. And I never remember what Sam told Kenny. He pulled Kenny to the side and said, Kenny, if you go out there and your game ain't on, you're going to make me a star tonight because I'm ready. So he was saying in Game 7, dude, I'm ready for this role. I'm ready to break out. If you let me out there, I'm going to show out. And I don't care about Game 7. I don't care about none of that because I'm bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so we have not had a guy with that mentality on this team. So I don't know if y'all saw the interview with Clayton Adams. Did anybody see that?
I didn't.
So Clayton said, and I had to go look it up because I think Boss brought this up. So I went and looked up the interview. Clayton said they was asking, he was doing his press conference and they asked him, Clayton, say, how do you prepare for the game? He said, man, really, I can get tight and nervous out there. But he said, you know who calmed me down? Looking at Pickens, number 3. Because number 3 don't care. Like number 3 ain't never nervous. He ain't never scared. He ain't never nothing. So when I look at him and how he's enjoying himself, he's not letting the moment be bigger than him. Then that relaxes me. Don't you think that helps the players too?
Oh yeah.
I gave you all those analogies, those stories to tell you that you can't have these cookie cutter guys that just do the right thing and just do it. You got to have some dudes in there with something that's different up here, man. And we actually have that, but we also have it with Williams too on defense. So to make a long story short, I think that Dak needs to have the defense, but they also need to have a guy on offense that just don't give a damn, that understands that it's a pressure situation, but I am built for this. You throw me the ball, great things gonna happen. And that's all I don't even think about negativity. I drop a ball, so what? That was last play. Throw it back to me again. So and I want you to throw it back to me. I ain't gonna be in my feelings and drop 3 of them in a row. I might drop 1, but that's it, man. I'm gonna make some plays, baby. You throw it to me, something good gonna happen. And that's just that confidence, man. You can see our team being confident like that right now. There's a confidence in our team that I hadn't seen before. That's why I can emphatically say, oh, we're gonna beat the Raiders. What? Philadelphia? We're gonna beat Philadelphia. What? Yeah. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat Detroit too. We're gonna beat these dudes, man. I'm telling you, man. And so, hey, I'm sorry to ramble like that, brothers, but I had to get that off, man, for real. This is a different team, man, because of the difference of the talent and the mindset of the individuals that we got.
So I was gonna tell you now. I think I have this right. That Houston Rockets team, they had a Pickens on their team. His name was Vernon Maxwell.
Yeah.
He was the same type of guy. Just
he was.
Care.
Yeah.
Just
he throw it out.
Yeah. So you got.
I be watching him now. because he got up. Yeah, he be on the podcast every other day. Up in Smoke. With Matt Barnes and Jack.
Yeah.
And so they be on there and Vernon Maxwell. So he's a little bit before my time. I was born
but he was a rookie on that team, and he just didn't care. He was just out there. I think he was a Florida guy. But
he wasn't a rookie.
He wasn't a rookie
because he went to San Antonio first.
Okay.
And then he came over there. But he is a Florida guy. You're right, University of Florida.
But he was the Pickens on their team, though.
If you look up when I watched the documentary on him, I watched the documentary and I was showing Mama some highlights of it actually. But because he made the news, how he got back popping, he made the news because this dude owed him some money. One of his teammates owed him some money. And he went on live and was telling everybody, "Don't fool with this dude. He ain't gave me my money." And he went out, in wild style. So that put him back on the scene. And then they hired him and Up in Smoke, and it just went from there. But what he said, I went and watched the highlights of him versus Jordan.
Yeah, there's a battle.
Now, if you going up against Jordan and you want that, like he wanted that smoke. He was just like, no, I'm guarding him.
Yeah.
And they went back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, he different for sure.
Jules, just to let you know a little bit, in those years, the Rockets used to split with them because they only played 2 games because they was out of conference. Yeah. But it would be a split.
And that was
Like,
young MJ too, right? That's probably like
no, no,
young
no, no, no,
MJ.
no. He was older than Max though. Remember, MJ came in '86,
Yeah.
Now,
and that was like 92,
I'm,
93.
I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball right here.
Yeah.
So we talking about this. I want to ask you this question, B Bird. So the 2 years that the Rockets went back to back, that's when Jordan was suspended. I believe the Rockets could have beat the Bulls with Jordan. I do. What do you think?
I
Well,
definitely think.
I know what Jules think. I'm asking you because he's a Jordan
Well,
guy.
I think the way they played him, if you just extrapolate what they did in the season, it would come down to Game 7. But we couldn't. Max played Jordan good, but Jordan still got his. And you will listen to Max tell it now. He said, "Nah, he's the greatest player I ever played
But they
against."
had no
But
match
we
on
had
the
but we
team
had a
though.
guy named Akeem Olajuwon that nobody in the league had it. They couldn't do nothing with him, man.
Yeah.
So as Jordan would kill our guys, Olajuwon would kill their guys, and but Olajuwon also would throw balls up in he'd block balls up into the second level
Yeah.
and rebound. So there's a lot of things. Both of them was great players. It would have came down to about 6 or 7 games. I think the Rockets would have took
Yeah. I think they
one
could
of
have beat
those
them too.
championships. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. I just I was Michael Jordan, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, but Michael Jordan is my guy. Floyd Mayweather is my guy. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy, my
Yeah. So
guy.
he's a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
Detroit Piston guy. I'm a bad
Yeah,
boy.
he's a bad boy
Oh,
guy.
cool. Yeah.
So that was my team. But to go back to what we're talking about
Yeah.
here, Dez he was trying to
Yeah.
be our Pickens the whole time he was
Mhm.
here,
Jason Garrett
and,
wouldn't let
and
him.
Jason Garrett wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
he wouldn't let him do his thing, and I never will forget. Dez said that the week before the 2016 playoff game, he was out there in practice trying to do his thing, and Jason Garrett shut him down, and they got down 21-3, start the game, and Dez
Yeah.
was like he wasn't surprised because they wasn't ready to play, and that was because of Jason Garrett. So
So one thing Shotty said is that I don't know if it was a Carolina Panther game or a Chicago game. He said something to the effect that his play calling got conservative. And so what he told Dak was, hey man, look, anytime you see me doing that, fall into that conservative, you let me know or you tell me, hey man, we're doing it. I like the fact that he's getting the players' input on it, right?
yeah,
Because some coaches don't want to do that. But he's
and
trying to, hey man, look, I can get caught in the zone. He knows his weakness. Where I'm trying to, my playbook shrinks. You got to grab me and say, hey, coach, look, no, man, we're doing this too much, we're doing that too much, and I like that back and forth between them because what he's doing, he's taking the input of his player, and not just that he's going to just take Dak's advice totally, but he's just saying, I got him in my ear and I'm going to listen to what he's saying. Whereas coaches previous weren't going to do that. McCarthy wasn't going to do that. Gary wasn't going to do that either. So I think that's good because what that says is that they're going to allow a guy like Dez or a guy like Pickens to have the effect they need to have on the team. Because what I
Yeah,
think Pickens is Debo coming out with the boombox. That's what he is, man.
for sure.
he is.
And you don't want to stop. You don't want to. If Debo wasn't able to come out with the boombox and be loose, they don't win that game.
No.
Right. Yeah. It's just like one of them games. I just can't think of which one it was. George Pickens clearly went over to the sideline and told Dak he told Shotty, give me the ball. That's what he said.
It was a Philly game.
Yeah.
He went up to Shotty and said, give me the ball. And Shotty looked at him like, all right, George,
Yeah.
go sit your ass down, please.
Why? Yeah. That's how he looked at him. But I'm gonna go back to and B Bird. You and I were conversating with somebody on Twitter about the game that if we don't make it, it's gonna get us, and we both agree it's Arizona. But that Carolina game, I think Shotty had us on schedule, but that last drive, he did something that was kind of goofy. Instead of getting the ball to Pickens, so that Arizona game, that Carolina game, those are going to be those two games. All you need to do really right there is go 1-1, and we went 0-2 in those two games.
Yeah.
If we don't make it,
See,
that's going to be the game.
see if you go out and come back in
Want
if
me to go out and
you
come back
stop
in?
popping. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my
See if it
voice is
stop
messed
popping.
up anyway, so I'll
Yeah,
go
but
out.
that ain't
Okay.
all right.
Let me go back out.
Yeah.
Y'all can talk.
And then B Bird, see, I watched the game now. I don't go watch the game. I don't watch the game places. Like normally, just growing up, me and my dad, we watch the game on Sundays with the family. and that's pretty much it. I don't like to watch it with nobody else. It's just one of the only
It's
things that give
hard,
me
man. It's
right.
hard to do.
Yeah, it's just one of the only things that gives me a natural high. I have to be sober. I can't drink a beer, nothing like that. And but anyways, it's like so I watched the Philly game with my best friend. It was his birthday. But me and his mom, me and his mom, we went into another room and watched it. Me and his mom did because we don't like to be around people
Yeah.
watching the game. But she kept telling me, she kept saying, all they have to do is throw it to Pickens. Pickens remind me of an old school player. He remind me of Michael Irvin and all
Yeah.
those guys. Just throw it to him. And it was just like every single time that Dak threw it to him, it was a huge catch for huge yardage. It's just
Yeah.
like he be making these catches that you be like, bro, it's no way that he's supposed to come down with that. You know what I mean? Like he be catching the ball in double coverage. And to me, like I said on the other show, I think I think Dak just throws the ball up to the other receivers with the confidence of throwing it to Pickens. Because it's
Well,
just like he'll throw it to CD. CD would be like in double coverage. CD ain't making that catch.
nah.
But that could just put it up there with confidence, like it's George Pickens. Because if he throw it to George Pickens and George Pickens is double coverage, he's catching the ball.
Well, when have we seen a jump ball on the goal line to Pickens? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, me and my dad say that every
That's the
game, bro.
craziest thing. So you have this, and be honest with you, Shotty's done well with play calling throughout the season.
Yeah.
But you have this guy that pretty much that's one of his fortes is the jump ball, and he can jump over two guys and catch it. But you never throw him the jump ball on the goal line. I don't, we know at the 5 yard line on the end. That's the craziest thing to me. But he is one of those guys, man. That I go back to one of the things that and I'm going to believe this. CD being out, man, allowed
Oh man.
Pickens to be who he is because
Oh,
Dak Prescott will always go to CD Lamb
yeah.
because that's where he trusts. But he didn't
Yeah.
have him, so he had to go. That's like if you're trying to teach your son how to dribble with his left if he's right-handed,
Yeah.
and you tie that right arm up.
Yeah.
He has to dribble with his left now. But if
Yeah.
you leave that right arm out, he's gonna dribble with the right.
We
And
all
so
agree that if he would have threw the ball to Pickens in the Philadelphia game at the end instead of throwing it to CD three
yes,
times,
yeah. And so, but back to what Cowboy Joe said. Cowboy Joe, you are absolutely right. Definitely the Arizona game, right? We
Yeah.
definitely and the other game is the Carolina game because you look at it, we only lost by and Rico. So with this 5-2 defense, all these three defensive tackles right now, y'all think Rico gets 200 yards? He don't,
no,
he don't
No.
get 200 yards. He
no,
gets about 80 something yards, and
yeah,
that's a good game for him. And
yeah.
so I think again, the question I've always asked, and I don't really get a good answer for. That's why I think the trade should have been done earlier
Oh man,
because, and even if you give up, people say, well, you might have would have give up two first instead of a first and a second. Yeah, but 2 games, how valuable is 2 games to you? How
that's
valuable is
why.
the 25 season?
That's why on y'all show, y'all had to y'all gave him a A and a B, I think.
I gave
And
him a C.
yeah, you gave him a C, and that was the right thing because it's just
Yeah,
like, yo, you messed us up this
yeah,
by doing what you did.
yeah.
So you trying to pull us out of a hole, and that's okay. But what you did initially is messed us up
Correct.
because we only out of this thing by a couple games, and those games are very winnable if you would have did what you were supposed to do
Yeah.
a little earlier. And
Well,
then
Jules, let me say this, and keep that thought. But I'm gonna say this: we just beat Philadelphia and Kansas City, the teams that are responsible for the last 3 Super Bowls, 5 of the last 8 Super Bowls.
Mhm.
But we can't beat Arizona, and we couldn't beat Carolina with the same team. Yes, we could have. And
Yeah.
so that I'm just telling you, we've beaten better teams than
Mhm.
Arizona is just a little bit up from the Raiders, man. To be
Yeah.
totally honest with you.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
lost to those guys,
They're
so and it
like
wasn't even close.
31st. Yeah, man. It was just
Well,
totally defeated.
and I'm gonna say this. Am I sounding better?
Oh yeah. Way
Yeah,
better.
My voice is messed up anyway. I'm gonna say this, and people are we're gonna be talking about this as when the season ends. Um, I think one of the things I like about our show as content creators, we have accountability and we can say what we think and we can say what we feel.
Right.
So I'm old school. Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, they used to say, if you want to shut somebody down, you can do it. And you ain't really got to have an all-star team to do it. So
Mhm.
two things on Eberflus,
Mhm.
uh, Dowdell had ran for 200 yards the week before.
Mhm.
So with the players that he had, he could have went into that Carolina game and he could have said, no matter what, we are not going to let this guy run on us. If we got to put 9 people in the box, that's what I'm going to do.
And
He didn't do it,
and he had bulletin board material. He called out the Dallas Cowboys.
and he had no
Yeah.
response. And then the other thing I want to say about Eberflus is when you get fired from a team and when you go back and play that team again, B Bird, I agree, you got to have players. But when he went back to Chicago, they talked to him during the week. He just had no emotional response to the game. It
No.
was just like playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And so when they played the Bears, it was a competitive game for a minute, but he just had no game plan. So
Hey,
so Carolina, B Bird, Arizona, and the Cardinals, Eberflus, in my view, he
I'm
should not be able to keep this job because we talking
yeah.
about what Jerry did.
Mhm.
Eberflus should be accountable for some of this because even the players that he had, he just literally didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
And so again, I know he didn't have the players, but now he does have the players.
Yeah.
Defense is looking better. Now somebody said I was listening to someone today or yesterday. They said they were playing 40% man now,
Yeah.
60% zone.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a much better mix. I think
But we got a
what we're
pass
gonna
rush
get,
now too, though, right?
and we got a
Yeah.
pass rush. Now Clowney is looking like he's not gonna play,
Yeah.
Right.
but this is so Dante Fowler, Houston, Izaraku, and it was another guy. Who am I missing? So Dante Fowler, Izaraku, Houston. Who's our other rusher? Clowney's out.
Oh, Williams. Williams.
Oh, and Sam. So this is their time. They got
Yeah.
center stage.
I
If they
mean, but
want
we
to,
ain't got to worry about them. Everybody you name be playing hard. They don't be messing up. Sam.
but my point is they're gonna get more snaps, and this is the game for them to just really
I,
shine.
I'm gonna say these two things, and then I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna say these three things. I find myself looking for Izaraku when he's not on the field. I'm saying to myself, where is he at? You know what I'm saying? Because he makes that much of an impact, even though he don't be getting to the quarterback. It'd be like he'd be disruptive, or he'd be right there.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I'm gonna say is, how come we lead we're in the top of the league in rushing and yards after contact, and this dude Williams, he fall and get 3 yards. So how come when we on the goal line, you got Tyler Booker that's playing
Like an all
great,
pro.
like
Like
an
an all
all
pro.
pro. You got Cooper Beebe who is known for just
Magic.
bulldozing people, and you won't just get the ball and hand it off for 3 yards.
Especially after you're on the 6 yard line and he gets you to the 1, and then you throw the ball 3 times.
Yeah, he gets you
I,
to the
I thought you
one.
won the game. Mac, before you leave, I want to tell you what Boss, has been after. Okay, coming to the year, I felt like our running back situation was okay. Okay, a lot of people didn't,
Mhm.
but Javante, he's 25 years old, man. That's a young man, and he's 2 years removed from his injury. I was wanting to give him a chance. Let's see what he got.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Davis. I love Davis, but Boss did. He doesn't really. He wants to work on a running back room. Now, the young guy that we signed to the practice squad, I can't pronounce his name, Abanikando or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I
If
watched
y'all
him
get it,
today.
we signed him yesterday to the practice squad.
I watched his highlight tape today.
Dude, in college, this
Yeah.
dude is a player with some acceleration.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at his tape because the ones when you look at it, because he's not his first year, but when you look at him at Green Bay in the preseason, he doesn't have much blocking at all, so you can't really tell a lot.
Mhm.
But if you go back to college, man, when the guy breaks through,
It's over.
he got some leg. Did you see the same thing, Cowboy Joe?
I did. It was all Pitt. It was all Pitt, Pittsburgh
Yeah,
tape when in college. Pitt. I didn't see any of his just carries. Now, so the
yeah,
thing I'm concerned about with him, just to be honest, highlight films are highlight films. You got to be careful when you're watching it. So, one of the things I want to know is why didn't he do anything with the Jets, and then why is he available? But beyond that, but just watching his Pitt tape, and then the other thing is, of course, I'm a Malik Davis guy. I think he's earned a right to kind of get a chance to get some carries, and I hate to see him bringing another guy that'll push Malik down, but it is what it is. But yeah, I was very impressed with his tape.
Yeah, Malik is my guy, and the thing about Malik is I feel like Malik is gonna do what he did against the Chiefs every game that he plays. I feel like that's not it. This
Mm.
wasn't happenstance. This wasn't just something random. He does that. That's how he runs. He runs like that on every play all the time. So I feel like and then the other thing I was gonna say is it's probably about the defense. But I can't
But
think
but
of
while
them.
you're thinking about that, the other important thing about that signing is if Javante had any kind of injury in the last few weeks, we had nobody really. So now this guy right here, he'll be ready to play. You're probably not gonna see him tomorrow night, but you got insurance. So if your backs is Javante, they call him Easy too, or Izzy.
Hmm.
B Bird, they call him Izzy,
Yeah.
and Malik Davis. So your running back room is set. He's stepping out for a second.
All
But
right.
yeah, so did you see any of the film on him?
I didn't.
So he's from University of Pittsburgh. They say he had actually broke a lot of Tony Dorsett records. But
Who,
yeah,
Malik?
he's
Oh,
no
Javante.
the guy from the Jets that we signed.
He broke who records?
Some of Tony Dorsett's records at Pitt.
Oh,
at
okay.
Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we got our running back room now is solid. You don't have to even talk about anybody else. Those are your three running backs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and
I
then
like the fact that they brought in competition at this time too. I mean, I think you should
yeah,
always bring in competition on your roster, man. You should always bring in threats, and so have everybody on their toes, man. So I like that, to be totally honest with you, because you start getting political or start having your picks when you say
mhm.
we good, we don't need nobody. You don't know what you got with somebody, and bring people in and see what they can do, man. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the signing. That it's somebody that the Cowboys have been looking at earlier. So, but yeah, I really liked the way he looked, and I was going to ask you guys. So, I'm assuming Kalen Carson is playing. We're gonna need him tomorrow night if Diggs is not playing. Have you heard about Kalen Carson? Because
I
we
haven't heard
need
anything about
we need him to play. Um,
I'm finna
so
log off. My computer about to cut off
okay,
anyway.
okay, we're not gonna be on that much longer, so I'll let you know when we ready to wrap.
All right.
But yeah,
Ivy
so
Bird, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, brother.
but yeah, I think if Kalen Carson is able to play, I kind of like the way where our defense is. We know the quarterback is not going to move around a lot, so I
Yeah,
feel
that's
good
good.
about the pass rush. So I'm feeling pretty good, pretty good about the game
And
tomorrow.
Siobhan Rivell said he played good.
That's what we're hearing. It's been really
Played a
weird
lot of snaps.
when I'm watching the games, and I'm gonna go watch the Kansas City game again when you and I get off here. I found a YouTube version of it. It's like the real, game. A lot of times you see the replays on YouTube, they're kind of jacked up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna watch it again. But from all accounts, it looks like he's kind of getting adjusted to the speed of the game. So I like where he is, and but I think it's important to get Diggs back at some point.
Oh, I definitely do too. Well, to me, it'll show a little bit of changing if they get Diggs back, because they don't they're not on good terms.
Yeah,
But what you got to look at and say, does this guy help us win games?
yeah,
And if he does help you win games, then you got to say, hey, let's put him out there. What are we doing here? Like, well, you're cutting off the nose to spite your face. You're already paying the guy anyway, right?
yeah.
So, go and play him if you're trying to make a push for the playoffs. If he can help you, which I like that, I think Stephen Jones even said, and I'm not a Jones fans at all, but he said that, if he's one of the better players when he comes back, if he's, hey, we're going to put him out there. But basically saying, you got to prove to us that you're one of the better players and we'll put you out there.
And we still don't really know what actually happened with him. Now I did see the report that he had both his knees were hurting, which is not surprising.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've had the surgery that he had, and he's had both. So that's not surprising at all. But I just think mentally and for the team, getting him back out there, you don't want your crazy Bridges running around out there in these last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
And so hopefully he can get out there. I was gonna say one other thing too. Uh, a couple of things I think Shada need to clean up. You talked about one is on the goal line running the ball, and I think um, giving the receivers the ball out of the backfield, he still needs to work on that. He's doing it. He's still doing it too much. And then defensively, I want to ask you about this, B Bird. Logan Wilson, to me, if it's second and long, third and long, he don't need to be on the field. He got caught up a couple times on Sunday,
Yeah.
and I just think if it's second and long, third and long, now if you're on the goal line, it makes sense to me to have him in there.
Hmm.
But if it's second and long or third and long, I would just put Bell at your linebacker spot there and let him cover.
Well, the thing about Bell, he hadn't played that position in a long time because they hadn't been putting him in there, right?
Yeah, they haven't.
Yeah. And so I don't know. As different defense coordinator, he probably don't even have that thought process, as
So either do that or just put Leofile out there, because I think we need more speed on the field.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Logan Wilson got caught up a couple times, and I was kind of surprised. I thought he was faster than he
I
looked.
think Murray's playing better. What do you think about him?
Leofile?
Murray.
Oh, Murray? Yeah, he's playing better.
Because you
I
got him
think
and
that's
Overshawn out there. That'll be, I think, a good athletic group right there. A couple.
or just have, and I'm talking about Logan Wilson. Instead of having Logan Wilson there in second and third and long, just have Overshawn out there. You need
Yeah.
more speed on the field.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was
And
just surprised at how slow he was when I saw him play last Sunday. I thought he was
Overshawn is
strong.
looking more and more like himself as the games go on. So I'm hopeful of that continues, right?
He's
So
adjusting.
I think the team is coming around. And it'll be a shame if this team doesn't make the playoffs. And you kind of could
Yeah.
point back to some moves that were made, but that wasn't made fast enough, right?
Yeah.
And so
In those
you know,
three
I
games that we
know
talked
I know
about.
the other day we was doing our show Saturday. I know Big Time got kind of taken off guard when I said a C, but those things you have to factor all those things in, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not one to give people credit for stuff they're supposed to do. That's what a GM is supposed to do. You're supposed to look at your team and see what you need. You're supposed to not act out of emotion, but act out of the best thing for the team. And Jerry didn't do that. And so if he would have done that, like if he was to trade Michael would have and got the picks and then right up behind that traded for Williams, then I could say great move because you had this in mind when you did this, right? You had this deal in place when you did this deal. So it all comes together and I like it. You know what I'm saying? And now we don't go into the season missing a playmaker on defensive line. So that's when I would have given him more credit for. But this thing just happened to fall into his lap, to be totally honest with you.
And I'm not gonna move off my position where I am on it, just to be honest. If we don't make the playoffs, I'm looking at two people. Jerry and Eberflus. I think everybody else did their part. I think Shotty did a terrific job hiring the offensive coaches. You can just see it every Sunday. You talked about Clayton Adams. That was all Shotty. Shotty has one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. What he's doing on that side of the ball. Um, and so to me, it's Jerry and the defense. And I just believe that with the players that he had, you had good enough players to beat Arizona. You had good enough players to the Carolina game. You lost the Carolina game because they had like a fourth and whatever it was. You had the corner playing 10 yards off the receiver. And then your linebacker, you're supposed to be a linebacker guru. It looks like your linebacker's in the wrong gap or he's too far over. And you could have made that adjustment in real time. If you just had a cornerback come up 5 yards and have Murray move over, I don't think Young is able to get that ball off. It would have been a much tighter shot. But no, I'm looking at two people, Jerry Jones and Eberflus. I'm not gonna move off of that. And I think, going forward, here's what I'll say too, and a lot of people are gonna say this. They're gonna talk about next year how our team is gonna be better and we've got better players. My thing is this: what the NFL has shown us, when you have a good team, you better take advantage of it while you can. So like look at what's happening with Detroit.
Yeah.
They had a couple of good shots. What happened? They didn't do it. Look what's happened with Baltimore. Baltimore had a couple of real good shots, and right now are they 6-6?
Hey, something like that. Yeah.
And they battling for the division, but and then it was one other team. So it was Baltimore, Detroit. It was another one. So I said all that to say this: when you get a chance to win, you have to do it when you can do it because you don't know what's gonna happen next. You don't know what injuries are gonna happen.
Yeah.
You don't really know
Um,
what they're gonna do with Pickens. So I'm not looking. I don't want to hear about next year. I don't.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. And if we don't make the playoffs this year, one of the things they cannot do is be like, hey, let's just bring it back this year and go one game from game one to game 17 with the
Mhm.
same team because the reason the targets move. So
Yeah.
Philadelphia won't be the same team next year. Washington won't be the same team next year. Green Bay won't be the same team next year. The Rams won't be the same team next year. So what you have to do is you have to even improve upon this team. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you say, hey, we need to draft the safety, one of the top safeties in the game, I know we ain't going to get the kid from Ohio State, but I'm saying like you have to go and improve your team and not just be like, hey, we're good. We just need to sign our own guys to come back with the same thing. You can't do that. You have to even improve upon this team to be able to compete because 2026 season is going to be different than 2025 season. And you can't expect the people to be where everybody else is going to stay the same. And then we come back and no, it's not going to be that way. So I'm going to know their mindset on how they approach this offseason of 2026, to be totally honest with you. If they approach it like they have been approaching it before, I just don't see us, you know, advancing
Well,
as far as we would like to.
well, the first clue you're gonna get is when free agency starts. You're just gonna look online and see if they're on vacation or they're in the office.
Yeah.
So typically, what they do,
They
they
take
go
that
on
thing.
vacation.
Yeah.
Now, the last couple of years, they've been kind of, you really couldn't get a fix on what they was doing because they kind of got hip to the vacation
They
thing.
got hip to that. They don't put photos and stuff out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll know. And I agree with you. We got the picks that we have. I'm not making no assumptions on what we're gonna do with these picks. I really don't even care about the picks to be honest.
Nah, me either, man.
And what they've shown is you can move these picks and just get better players. Now I've been looking at Tankathon, kind of peeking at it. The players that they have us taking right now, I think would be great. They got us taking a corner and a linebacker, and so again, they need to just improve the team. And then the other thing is we're gonna look at it, B Bird, the pick and signing. So the season ends whenever it ends. If we're still sitting here in April and they playing this game with the agent and you know, they putting out stuff about what Pickens did in high school and
Yeah.
you know he went in the he went in the grocery store and got into it with the cashier. That's gonna be a clue how this whole thing is gonna go.
Yeah. I tell you what, I hope they've learned something from this Michael Parsons thing, but arrogant people don't really learn from stuff like that, right? They always think they're right.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
But the pick, if they can just go and sign Pickens quietly, man, that was signal to me that they're changing. So, um, but he has to be signed, and I'm gonna say this until somebody tell me to stop. I was the one that said we should have signed him before we even traded for him.
You did.
That should have been contingent upon the trade, and it might have cost a little bit of money. And somebody be like, "Why y'all paying him 28 million?" Because I know what he's gonna do with that. I know what he's gonna do when he get over here. And but the thing about it is, the thing I like about Pickens more is the demeanor he has, and not just the production on the field, but the demeanor he brings, the mindset he brings, has an effect on the rest of the players. And I think that when we make it to the playoffs, I think our team gets a little nervous in situations like Clayton Adams said he does. I think our team gets that way. You need that guy that you can look to that ain't never scared, man. And that's who
Hmm.
Pickens is. And that's a valuable thing, man. And so you got to sign this guy. That's all it is to it. And I'm not talking about franchise
Franchise.
signing.
No.
I'm talking about because Pickett's one of those dudes. He ain't gonna play well under no franchise tag. Like he gonna be pissed behind this franchise tag. So he might not even play at all under the franchise tag. And the Cowboys don't use the franchise tag for negotiation. They use the franchise tag to franchise somebody.
And
So
I think Jerry he had a the thing with Parsons with David Mulugeta, which is Pickens' agent. I just don't think David Mulugeta is going to give Jerry any leeway on this deal because Jerry, Jerry lied on him. Went on national TV and said that he said, stick the contract up your rear end. He never
Yeah,
said
all that
that.
stuff, man. Yeah.
So I don't think that these guys are going to be playing around with him. If Cowboys are smart, Steven, their other contract guy, his name escapes me at the moment. But if Steven is smart, and it's Adam Pacifica, that's who it is.
Yeah.
They'll just keep Jerry out of it altogether.
Yeah. He needs to stay out of it.
Don't even he and they've talked about before how Jerry doesn't really deal with the agents and the players anyway, and so do the same thing here and just get this guy signed. Now it's going to be some debate on whether he should make more than CD or equal to CD. Where are you on that?
I think they can pay him more, maybe like $1 million more or whatever, because really he's going to be top wide receiver in free agency and off season. So when CD was the top free agent in off season, he got what he got. So you can give him I think CD makes like 34. I think you can give him 35. But it's just the way you structure the contract. You can get anything you can get everybody you want signed. I think the minute that the Cowboy fans start to accept the fact that the contract, the salary cap is not really real. Lando says is a construct. It's not really real. You can do whatever you want to inside of that. Philadelphia has proven that year after year. They defer money off, and the salary cap goes up, and they're never in cap hell. Cap hell is not real. Lando says a concept, but so you can do whatever you want. But what ends up happening, Jerry and Steven is talking about, well, the cap, the pie, and all that stuff. And layman Cowboy fans buy into that and they repeat that stuff. Yeah. But I would tell people this, Dak wasn't making so much money. Jalen Hurts make $55 million. Do you think that our roster last year was $5 million difference between Philadelphia and Dallas? No, it wasn't, because they got way more players. And so you could do whatever you want with this. I don't want to hear about no whining about Pickens. I don't want to hear no whining about Clark. I don't want to hear none of that in the offseason, man, because you can sign these guys if you want to. But I think what the problem is that the cash up front is what the Cowboys struggle with. And I don't know if it's Jerry Jones, their cash flow ain't up, but that's where, like, if you could pay a guy up front, then you can give his money, then you could keep his salary cap lower, but he still gets his money. And you put some of that salary cap at the end of the contract, where at that time you can renegotiate the contract, or you might have to eat it, but you may have won 2 Super Bowls by then. So I just don't want to hear anything about the salary cap or anything else. But let's, if you don't mind, Cowboy, just hit on Detroit a little bit, man, the game. What do you think?
So we got to see if the Sun God, the receiver, is going to play Amon St. Brown.
Yeah.
What he's going to look like. That's why I really want to have Kalen Carson. Was hoping he's going to have Diggs. I think Bland needs to go back into the slot. That's why I'm wanting these other guys to play. That's where he's most effective. So they don't have Sam Laporta. That's who. Back when we were doing the draft, I wanted the Cowboys to take Laporta over Maji.
I think Detroit picked him first, right?
They did, and we would have had to trade back a little bit to get him, but he's not playing now. Hutchinson, the defensive end for Detroit, going up against Steele, I'll be a little concerned there. He does move around. So I feel good about the game. I just want us to get off to a fast start, and then defensively, we gotta come with the pressure. You got to come with the blitz packages, and I think we'll be fine. And if I tune in tomorrow and we're wearing our white, it's a wrap. If we're wearing our white pants with our white shoes, with either the white blue jersey with the white helmets, I think we're undefeated in that uniform. So I'm trying to figure out what we're wearing tomorrow night.
And I think I cited that record of 6-1 with Dak and the Cowboys in domes away. That's what I'm relying on, man. I think that our team just plays well inside, but also too, I think the Detroit Lions are missing Ben Johnson this year. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely are.
The play calling has been a little bit stale at times, and I've been hearing some complaints come out of Detroit about it too. But they have a lot of people injured. I think a lot of guys in the secondary are injured, and the Cowboys are not the team you want to play with Dak playing like he is, with our 2 wide receivers and Ferg. Our running game, our offense is potent, man. Our offensive line, Booker, home run hit. on a draft pick.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always said that 61s don't sell jerseys and 97s don't sell jerseys, but they win you football games. And so we're investing in the offensive line and in defensive line via the trade. It's okay to trade for people, man, like we've done, because all you're doing is admitting that you made a mistake. That's okay. You made a mistake. You don't have to try to see the thing all the way through to try to make it. At some point you got to cut your ties with it. And that's what we did with Mozzie. It just wasn't working out. We tried to look at it all kind of different ways. It didn't work out. But what we're doing is, I think our defensive line, our offensive line are as good as it's been in the last 10 years. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
combined. You know what I'm saying? Where we have a good
Yeah.
offensive line, but also we have a good defensive line. I don't remember, even with the 2014 team, we had a great offensive line. And the 2016 team, we had a great offensive line. But we didn't have a great defensive line. So I think we got them
Mm-hmm.
coming together right now. We can stop the run for a change. Nobody's just running down our throat anymore. And it's going to be a challenge because the running back that they have over there is a dynamic
Yeah.
running back.
Jameer
Probably,
Gibbs.
yeah, probably either one or two running back in the league this year. So
It's gonna be a test. So
we
yeah,
got
they're gonna try to test us on the running game. So
yeah,
Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery. So we're gonna get I would say, a final exam on our new defensive line tomorrow night, because they're gonna try to run it at us. We're gonna get
yeah,
a good look at Logan Wilson, Overshawn. So that's gonna be the test. And so we'll get a I'm calling it a final exam uh, before the big other games come up. But let's go ahead and wrap, man,
yeah,
and we'll so we're gonna reconvene on Saturday, me, you, and Big Time,
yeah.
and then we'll just kind of catch up then and see how this game went. And I'm like I said, I'm feeling pretty good about the game. We had a weird schedule this year. It seems like we're playing Thursday. It's almost like every other week we're playing Thursday or Monday night.
Yeah, so I think we played Thursday, then we played Monday, right?
Yeah, so it's a weird schedule the way
Well,
they,
what
they
they're
got it
doing,
set up.
they squeeze everything they can out the Cowboys on TV, on national TV. That's what it is, man.
And if you see the number from the game on Thanksgiving,
Yeah, I saw it.
that was pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Yeah,
it was a
when I
Super
see those
Bowl
numbers,
number.
I don't really pay him any mind because I already know
Mm,
the power of the Cowboys, and then he had another popular team with
mm-hmm.
Mahomes and all that. I don't look at all that stuff. I don't look at the value of our team or anything like that, because as fans that want six, that does nothing for six for us.
It
And
doesn't.
so I don't even get into that. I see it and I keep on going, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, man, and go ahead and promote your show and tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, man. So I'm B Bird Cowboy on Twitter, and I'm B Bird Cowboy on YouTube, man. So if y'all get a chance, check me out. I'm on here on OG Podcast. We're gonna do it this Saturday at 3 o'clock. We did it last week at 3 o'clock. Had a great show. Me, Cowboy Joe, and Big Time. So y'all come back and talk. Come back and check with us, man. We some dudes that got some history behind us, and so on OG Podcast, we don't talk about things that we heard. We talk about things we seen a while
Yeah,
ago and all
yeah.
the way up to now. So it's just good talking to your brother again, man, and just doing this with y'all. You and Jules, one of the guys. When I said I'm gonna start a podcast, I definitely wanted to do it with y'all, man. So I'm kind of living that out right now, man, and I appreciate y'all putting me on. But yeah, so it's B Bird Cowboys on Twitter and B Bird Cowboys on YouTube, man. So check me out when y'all get a chance.
So our show is called Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talk, and you can find me at Cowboy Joe 64. And so do a show with my son when he's not doing school and dad duties. So B Bird has been really cool, just doing some shows with me, and we just kind of carrying the flag for both of the channels. So check us out, and then we do the OG podcast with my fraternity brother, Big Time Show, out of Memphis. And I spent a whole lot of time in Memphis when I was working, eating a lot of Memphis
Oh,
barbecue.
that's right,
Yeah, up there
yeah. Headquarters.
with FedEx. Yeah, and so I know all about the barbecue spots. And and again, no shade on Kansas City. I had 17 employees in Kansas City, B Bird,
Yeah.
and I would go up there twice a year. And their barbecue was just weird. I don't know what they were doing. So they would do, it's called burnt ends. You've heard of that?
Yeah, I heard of it, but I'm going to tell Jay Tuck about you, man. You talking bad about his barbecue.
So I roll up in there. So Gates Barbecue is their main spot.
Yeah.
It's called Gates Barbecue. So in Texas, we do brisket, chopped beef. So I roll up in Gates Barbecue. I just want a brisket, plate, a brisket sandwich, or chopped beef sandwich. They're like, "What are you talking about?
Oh my.
Like what? What are you saying here?" So now I Memphis hands down. It ain't
Yeah.
even close. And Texas barbecue is good too.
Yeah, it is.
So the lunatic, appreciate you joining the show, and I've seen him on some other shows, so appreciate you joining in. All right, man. Well, hey, we got a Thursday game, and boy, these Thursday games are rough when you gotta go to work. But I'm off work,
Man,
so
they are tough. You gotta go to work the next morning, man. Hey,
I'm off
look.
work till January 12th.
Oh man, look, and I get up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's tough.
Wow.
And I can't
And
go to
then,
sleep. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go to sleep right after the game over with because you're still wired up. You know what I'm saying?
and do you listen to post game shows and all of that too?
I can't on these kind of shows, right? But
Yeah.
if it's 12 o'clock show or something like that, I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So
12 o'clock game, I can do it.
So what I do when the Cowboy game is over, I listen to Boss, their kind of post game,
I listen to it too. Yeah.
and then 105.3, I listen to it on YouTube. So yeah, but I'll be up tomorrow night late.
I listen to Law Nation because Law he'll integrate a little bit of 105.3 in.
He
And
does.
so that's pretty cool what he does. So you don't miss either one. You can get his commentary and you get people calling in. And you
Yeah.
also get the breaking news from 105.3.
Law does have a good post game
Yeah.
show. JVB boy, appreciate you joining.
Hey, what's
Okay,
up,
man.
JB?
Man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to seeing you, brother.
Let's go out and get a win. Okay,
All right,
have
man.
a good one.
Yeah.
Take care.